said.
What did you eat tonight?
I actually today the whole day there was no electricity, so I ate in the evening. It was some sorghum and little that bitter gourd and some papaya.
Oh, really? That's all you
Yeah,
had?
I take food like that only every day.
Sorghum means tapioca.
No, it is it's a millet.
Oh,
In
I
India,
see.
it's called jowar. It has less glycemic index than wheat.
धन्यवाद मुनि महाराज.
Dandavat.
So you ready for your talk tomorrow?
I prepared a number of things for the talk.
Good.
Uh, first thing is basically Turiya means the fourth. Fourth, actually, the word Turiya means fourth, and
Uh-huh.
it is described in the Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad in detail. These topics. So the Gayatri is a form of Gayatri actually. So first foot of Gayatri is this the world. Then the second foot is the three Vedas. Then the third foot is uh, I forget, and the fourth foot is this Atma consciousness, which is the transcendental Turiya. So and then beyond Turiya, that is above the Atma, there is another reality. That's for that Hiranyagarbha, that sloka is there, and so then this Krishna, this Turiya Tita means the platform of Krishna Prem, love of God. So which is the higher plane. The and then Srila Maharaj explained that in detail. The plane of worship for the soul, venerable plane. So this is the from Indian philosophy. This part is there, and from the Western we have this Socrates, the form of good, something I had prepared in past, and then Hegel has this idea of notion, which is the unity of the identity of the opposites. The identity of the opposites are identical. That is uh, the notion of freedom actually. So some kind of which is reaching its peak in the conception of the absolute truth, absolute idea. So this is the basically idea of spirit in uh, Western philosophy, and then from that how this we are coming to the soul and then consciousness and all these things are there. So I think this is enough for Maharaj. This I don't think people are so much interested in the talk tomorrow. Only few people are, I think, joining. So if I can cover this much, it will be, I think, reasonable.
Uma Devi, Dhanyavad.
Dandot Pranam Maharaj. Dandot Pranam.
You prepared a PowerPoint?
I prepared about 5 6 slides, and
Uh,
I have to prepare another 5 slides or so. I'll prepare.
Now, what time is it? Is it going to be during Acharya Maharaj's talk?
No, it will be in the 4:30. I mean, Acharama's talk starts at 7,
Uh,
so this will conclude before that.
oh, it'll be before.
Yeah, 4:30 in the evening, 4 to 7, I think, 4:30 to 7.
What time will that be here? 4:30 will be
I,
7 a.m.? Oh, all
yeah, I learned a lot, Maharaj, from this preparation for this talk. Actually,
good.
I feel
Yeah, we learned something.
I feel that all that you are teaching in past about this all these things. somehow it is coming together now. Some little, I mean, at least something. And I was feeling very, I may not be able to speak everything tomorrow, but it has given a very good, what to say, platform to study the things and absorb some of these things.
Who is going to be there?
I think Shanta Maharaj is speaking for 40 minutes, and we both are going to speak for a total of half an hour, me and Krishna Keshava Prabhu, and then I
Oh,
think there are two, three,
15 minutes each or half hour each?
no, 15 minutes each, I think,
Okay.
both of us. And then there will be some other speakers. I think there is one Professor Das will be speaking, and I think some more. Shanta Maharaj knows the details. Some sannyasis and others are there from other places.
Who has initiated this program?
Shanta Maharaj knows Maharaj. Actually, I think his friend in one college in Orissa.
It's some bliss. It's like bliss organization or
A
something.
bliss
Yeah,
organization?
yeah.
All right. Do they know anything about these things?
I think they don't know anything about Hegel, but maybe they know something about all this soul in
Puri?
India. Turiya something, yes, maybe they know
How
something
do they
about.
choose that topic? They know something about it. They must know
Yeah,
something.
yeah, Orissa Maharaj, they are having some idea.
Are they Mayavadis?
They are Jagannath devotees.
Oh, Jagannath devotees. Okay. Well, they can also be Mayavadis. I don't know.
Yeah, of course. The intellectuals are like that.
Uh, so, how are you doing, Uma Devi? Are you well?
Hi, Maharaj. Thank you. Grace of you and Guru Gauranga. I'm fine, Maharaj.
Jai Hari Bol. I heard that in England they're getting a lot of smoke from California fire. Huh? What happened to everyone? Why are they not showing up? Oh, there they are.
Dhanavat.
Oh, Haribol, don't know what's going to be.
Dhanavat.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. How are you?
Okay.
Everything well?
I was just asking Uma, are you getting a lot of smoke from California fires
No,
there?
not yet. I'm London, Maharaj. I'm in London.
In London, yes. They said the smoke was coming over from California to Canada and then from Canada to UK. No?
I did watch news,
You
Maharaj.
didn't see any?
No, I didn't
No.
watch any news.
That's good.
I'm wondering how it would come. What would it?
Jet stream, the jet stream, I think, will take it there. You know, the jet stream, you heard of that? Some
Yeah.
upper atmospheric wind.
Oh, so it would be like dusty, maybe?
I
Would it
don't
be
know.
like-
They said it
yeah.
was. There's a lot of pollution, air pollution.
Oh,
People with asthma and things like that are suffering a lot.
Oh wow, maybe we can't see it, Marsh.
Maybe.
Maybe it,
Is Shanta Maharaj coming?
You should join Maharaj. I think he just went inside his room. Maybe he's setting up.
Okay.
Maharaj, has the fires stopped now in America?
The fires?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're still burning.
Oh, they're still burning.
So California and Oregon. Santa Maharaj, Haribol, Dandavad. I can't hear you. Your voice volume is low.
How are you, Maharaj? Dandavat.
Oh, there you are. Yes, I'm okay, Maharaj. Everything okay there?
Yes, Maharaj. By your blessing, everything is okay.
All right.
We are trying to prepare for that tomorrow event, Maharaj.
Okay. You're the main speaker, I heard.
I don't know, Maharaj, what to speak to them because they are all sometimes they are saying that some of them are students
I see.
and some are faculties. So I was thinking to make them, make the talk more suitable for them,
Student level.
so that
Yeah.
they don't feel
Yeah.
too much
Yes.
not
Teach them
related to what we are speaking.
teach them something.
Yes, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Teres.
Hare Krishna, how are you today?
Okay.
Good. Good to see everyone.
I'm having trouble to see.
Oh no.
Seeing today. My eye, they have the cataracts. So, I'm asked Shanta Maharaj, maybe you can lead the Sangha today, if you don't mind.
Maharaj, you have one eye problem? Krishna Kesava was telling.
And cataracts. Both.
Both the eyes, Maharaj?
One eye is cataract, the other eye is retina problem.
Oh my
So
God.
Can you get that fixed, Maharaj?
I think so. We're going to try and see what happens. I remember Srita Maharaj, he had cataracts in both eyes. Were you there? Did you see him? He couldn't see out of either eye, I remember. He just accepted it as Krishna's mercy. He never tried to correct it. It was like that, very renounced. Whatever Krishna arranged, that was perfect.
He was doing like that with mosquitoes also.
Yes, the mosquitoes. If they wanted to bite him, that was Krishna's grace. I didn't care to stop them. Amazing, huh? It's all surrendered. All surrender. Whatever Krishna arranges, that's perfect. Raja coming? You know? Kanu Priya, did you ever meet Sridhar Maharaj personally?
No, Maharaj. No. Unfortunately not.
All the money would come through Sridhar Maharaj. Any money they collected, they would give to him and put in his wallet. And I remember when they come to him and ask for some money for something, he would get his wallet. And he couldn't see. So he used to go in his wallet and he'd pull out some paper, some rupees. And he'd ask Govinda Maharaj or whoever was there, is this the right amount? Is this the right denomination? But they will allow him to take care of all the money affairs, just as in Krishna Leela, Radharani takes care of all the money. She takes care of all the money. In the Indian family, it's like that also, traditional, where the wife takes care of the money. Huh? Isn't it?
Yes, Maharaj.
Husband goes to work and he gives the money to his wife. Dhanyavad Swasraj Prabhu. Are you there? Can you hear us? Well, you are muted. We can't hear you. You're muted. We can't hear you, Rasraj. Maybe send him a message.
When you are getting operated, Maharaj,
Huh?
when you are getting operated,
Um,
October?
I think not this week. Next week. Next week, I think it is.
Oh,
Okay.
You're connected now?
Yes, I am.
Right. Dhanyavad Prabhu.
Dhanyavad.
Kusum Didi is doing well, Maharaj.
Kusham Didi, she is hanging in there. She made some prasadam for us last time. Krishna Kesava went to visit her,
Oh,
and she gave him a tulsi plant and some prasadam, and he took it back. And Rasaraj also made some ladus for us,
No.
Oh,
very nice ladus. And also she made some garanga potatoes and a few other things.
the ladus are from Bundi or what? From what he made, Rasaraj Prabhu?
Where did he?
yes, from chana flour.
Oh, Bundi ladu, no? They call it.
Yeah, bundi. Yes.
Mm. Very nice. You learned it from where?
Everybody knows how to make ladus.
It is difficult for us, Maharaj. I never made ladu.
Really?
Yes.
Mhm.
You have to cook the chana in a pan. Then you add some butter and add some sugar, powdered sugar and butter, and roll it into a ball. You have to what do you say? Roast the chana.
Yeah.
Yes, Maharaj.
A little bit, roast it till it's cooked, and then add the powdered sugar, and then you can add some butter and roll it into a ball.
Yeah, some cinnamon and walnuts too.
And he put some cinnamon. You learned that from us, I think. We put the
And
cinnamon.
walnuts.
We put the cinnamon in the Simply Wonderfuls. I used to put cinnamon and a little what do you call that? Cardamom. I put cinnamon and cardamom. And Simply Wonderfuls. Have you done that?
Mm.
You know how to make that?
Yes, Maharaj.
Maharaj, I heard, but I never made it.
I never made Simply Wonderful. Simply Wonderful doesn't require any cooking. Take the powdered milk and add a little
Maharaj.
powdered sugar and then butter and a couple of spices and roll it up and then pop it in your mouth, whole thing, after offering to Krishna.
It will burst in the mouth.
And it bursts in flavor.
Okay.
And after you eat that, you say, "Oh, simply wonderful." Huh?
You don't have to cook at all, Maharaj, that one? Just
No, well, you use powdered milk.
Okay.
Powdered milk don't have to cook, and powdered sugar, and a little butter, melted butter. You don't have to cook it, but it should be melted, and you put that in, and then you can roll it into a nice ball.
Also, Maharaj, have you done the dates? You know, dates and nuts and coconut.
Ah, yes.
This one, it's really simple, really easy, and really, really nice.
Oh, you make a sweet ball out of that?
Yeah,
Kind of laddu.
Yeah.
like date laddu, but they're just dates chopped.
When we were going on Sankirtan, we used to eat dates and cut it and cut the top of the date and then stuff it with some cream cheese.
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
And that used to give us a lot of energy for
So
Sankirtan.
much energy, yeah. It's also very nice on Ekadashi, you know, this sweet. Because it has so much, it gives you so much energy.
Yes,
Just dates and nuts and the rolling coconut.
yes. So what's that? Who are we waiting? Oh, Azana's coming at 2:00, and Ajay didn't say anything. All right. So today I'm going to ask Rasaraj Prabhu and Shanta Maharaj to conduct the Sangha because my eyes are not in good shape today. And I can't really see anything. So clearly just about the outlines I can tell who's who here at least. But it's hard for me to read the screen or anything. So Asaraj is the good singer. So you can do the bhajans, lead the bhajans today, and ask anyone if they like to participate in that. That would also be nice. Yeah.
Okay, Maharaj.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Sarva Vaishnavira Paye Kari Namaskaraiti Aparadha Kichuna Hukamara. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda.
Jaya Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Yadvaita Bhakta-vrinda.
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadara, Sivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura
Nitya Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari
Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol,
Hari
Nitai
Bol, Gora Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura
Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Jaya Jaya Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Jaya Jaya Guru Dev.
Jaya Jaya
Jaya Jaya Guru
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Giant Bonnie. And you say the Giant Bonnie?
Jayam Vishnu Paramahansa Parivarjakacharya Stotra Sadasisi Mahidvangrai Srila Bhakti Nirmanacharya Maharaj ki
Jai.
Jayam Vishnu Paramahansa Parivarjakacharya Stotra Sadasisi Mahidvangrai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Maharaj ki
Jai.
Jayam Vishnu Paramahansa Parivarjakacharya Stotra Sadasisi Mahidvangrai Srila Bhakti Prakash Vihara Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
Narasimha Vedam ki Jai, Yamuna Maya ki Jai, Ganga Maya ki Jai, Narasimha Vedam ki Jai, Tulsi Maharani ki Jai, Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki Jai, Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki Jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari 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 Bol. All glory to assembled devotees ki Jai. All glory to assembled devotees ki Jai. All the glory to the worldwide devotees ki Jai. Gaura Premanande, Hari 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 Bol.
Jai Vishnu Paramahansa Parivarjakacharya Bhakti Mala Puri Maharaj ki Jai.
Ki Jai.
Santa Maharaj, Maharaj.
Vandana.
Yes.
Page 38. Page 38. Vandeham Shri Guru Pada Kamalam
Kamalam
Shri Guru Vaishnavan Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saharitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shakam Vitam Om Jnanirandasya Jnananjanaslakaya Chakshuro Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Puyasi Guru Varga Vandita Mahavanditaya Sada Sarva Parya Parampara Charita Rajya Pramurtite Bhaktir Nirmala Niharasya Ivritarasakam Sadaram Vande Sri Gurudevam Anatasira Acharya Varyam Niyam Gurvavista Suratam Rugunairashisha Shambhushitam Chintya Chintitam Mastavedanam Sri Rupa Pantanam Govindam Vidam Kalambaratanu Bhaktyamritam Sundaram Vande Vishwa Guru Chavidya Bhagavat Prema Pradam Devam Divyatanu Chandavanam Alarka Chedanchitam Sandramanta Pudansade Karanam Vaidya Vidya Putim Sri Siddhanta Nidhin Bhakti Lasitam Saraswatam Param Banditam Sivadam Madeka Saranam Nyaswaram Sridharam Sri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidit Gaudiya Pravanmaye Pato Vivaprate Gagane Gaura Sankirtanai Majava Tiniglavra Satamudritya Divanimam Krishna Prema Sudanigam Prabhum Bhaye Namo Gaurakisaraya Bhattavaduttarataye Gaurangiri Padmabringaya Radha Bhava Devite Vande Bhakti Vinodam Gauraki Swarupam Bhakti Sasayam Rasa Sudanidhim Gaura Braya Sesai Vaisnavardya Vigraham Jagannatha Prabhu Bande Srimati Vaishnavam Vanchakatva Sindhuvya eva cha Patitanam Vaishnavibho Namo Namaha Panchatattvamakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktasyam Namami Bhaktashatkam Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Prachadayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gaura Te Namaha Jayatan Surato Pango Mamamanda Matergati Masarvasva Padambujau Rathamadana Mohanu Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadramada Simavranagara Singhasana Sitau Sri Gandharva Sri Govinda Devau Veshvalivi Savyamano Smarami Sriman Rasa Rasa Rambi Vansi Vata Tattastita Karsam Venu Sunair Gopir Gopinata Striyastanaha Vrindayai Tulasi Devyai Priyayai Kesavasya Krishna Bhakti Radhe Devi Sattvatyai Namo Namaha Atvanatra mantra gurum Gurun Bhagavatartadam Vyasan Jagat Gurunatva Tato Jajam Viraje Jaya Saparikaro Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundara
Govinda
Padmanam Jaya
Jayastu.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasajay Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Page 16, Yasomatinandana, who want to sing?
I'll sing, Prabhu. If you'd like. Yasomati Nandana Rajavara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana
Yasomati Nandana Rajavara
Gokula Ranjana
Kana
Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliya Dhamana Vidhana
Gopi
Paranadana
Manohara Kaliya Dhamana
Vidhana
Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa
Harinam Namiya Vilasa
Vipina Purandhara Navina Nagara Vara Vamsi Badana Suvasa
Vipina Purandhara Vansi Badana
Suvasa
Raja Jana Palana Surakula Nasana Nanda Godana Rakoyala
Brajajana Palana Nanda Godhana Rakshawala
Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundara Nanda Gopala
Govinda Madhava Sundarananda
Gopala
Yamuna Taktachara Gopi Vashanahara Rasa Rasika Kripa Maya
Yamuna Tattara Ratarasika
Kripamoya
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Nathavara Bhakati Vinoda Shraya
Sri Radha Bhakti Vinodavasraya
Yasumati Nandana Vraja Varanagara Gokula Ranjana Kana
Yasomati
Yasomati Nandana Kula Janakana
Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliya Damana Vidana
Gopi
Damana Vidana. Page 45, Sri Sri Guru Astakam. Who want to sing?
I don't mind to sing. Samsaradavanavalita loka dharanakaranagranakanamatvam
Samsaradava
Nalalida Loka Karya Gana Gana Tvam
Prapatya kalana guranavasya Vande gurashi chanararindam
Raptasya Kalyana
Ratasya
Gunana
Gunana
Vande Gurasri
Vande Gurasi
Charanaravinda
Charanaravinda
Mahaprabho Kirtana Nitya Gita Varitramadhyana Surasena
Mahaprabhurti
Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Valitramadhyana Surasena
Romanchakam Pashutaranga Vajo Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinam
Romanchakam Vande Gurasri
Charanaravinda
Shri Vigrahatana Nityanana Shingaratan Mandira Majanatu
Shri Vigraharana Shingaratan Mandira
Yukta Shabaktam Shamyam Ratopi Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinam
Yuktasya Bhaktasya
Vande Guru Sri Charanaravinda
Chakto Vikasi Prasada Sarvana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangyan
Chaturvidha Sri Bhagavata
Chaturvidha Sri
Anandakirtana Hari Bhakta Sanghan
Hari Bhakta Sangam
Kritvaiva Triptim Bhajata Tathaiva Vande Guru Shri Charanaravrindam
Utvaiva Triptim Vajata Sadeva Vande Guru Sri
Charanaravinda
Shirathika Bhavaya Para Madhurya Leela Gunarupanam Nam.
Shri Radhika Madhavayor
Shri Radhika
Madhurila Gunarupanam Nam
Gunarupanam Nam.
Pratikshana Svadana Lolupasya Bande Guru Shri Charanara Vindam.
Pratikshana
Nikunja Yono Rati Setyai Yayalape Yuktira Pekaniya
Nikunjayo no ratike Yayalira Pektaniya
Ratrati Dakshadati Balabhasya Bande Guru Shri Charanara Vedam
Tatrari
Akshare Trina Samasta Shastre Yuktastata Bhavyataiva Sapti Kintu Prabhoya Priyaye Bhatasya Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vrinda
Kintu Prabhu
Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasado Yasya Prasadan Guti Kutopi
Yasya prasada Yasya prasada Nalakti kutopi
Nayam Stuvam Stashayam Shatri Sangyam Vande Guru Sri Charanara Vrindam
Jayam
Mande
Shrimad Guru Rasti Kamita Uche Brahme Mahurti Patati Prayatnat
Shrimad Guru Brahme Muhurte Gadadi Prayatna
Yastena Vrindavanana Sakshat Svadvaivalapya Jana Shunatraiva
Stena
Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vrindam Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vrindam
Bande Gura Shri Bande Gura Shri
Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva
Jaya Jaya
Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva.
Jai Gurudev. Jai.
Jai. Page 54. Sri Guru Charana Padma. Page 54. Who wanna sing? Okay, I will sing. Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Satma Pando
Sri Guru
Moitava
Padma Kevali Bhakati Sadma
Ando mohi sarva amate.
Yahara Prashadevai Eva Batori Jai Krishna Prapti Oi Jaha Hoite
Yahara Prashadevai Devavatari Jayai Krishna Papihaya Oite
Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chite Te Koriya Kya Arana Kori Ho Mane Ata
Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Kariya Arana Kari Hamane Asa
Sri Guru Charane Rati Eise Uttamagati Je Prashade Pure Sarva Asa
Sri Guru
Charane Rati Kese Uttamagati Je Prashade Pure Sarva Asa
Chaksudana dilo je yame yame Prabhu se Divya Gyan Hride Prakashito
Shudana Dilaye Janme Janme Prabhu se Udana Hriday Kashita
Prema Bhakti Jahoite Avidya Vinasayate Vedegaya Haracharito
Prema Bhakti Yaha Hoite Avidyate Nasayat Tere Gaya Janhara Charita
Sri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adamaya Narabandhu Lokana Lokera Jivana
Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu Lokanata Lokera Jivana
Aha Prabhu Kuro Doya Deho More Pada Chayo E Adamalo Sarana
Haha
Prabhu Pada Jaya Deha More Pada Chaya Deha Dhama Laila Sarana
Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Gurudev
Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev.
Jaya
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 Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Page 105. 105. Shanta Maharaj, please. Can you place a thing for us?
Oh, okay. Hamara Jivana.
Yes, Maharaj.
আমার জীবন সদা পাপে রত নাহিক পুণ্যের লেশ
Hamara jivana sada papirata nahika punyera lesha.
পরের উদ্বেগ দিয়াছি যে কত দিয়াছি জীবের ক্লেশ
Harera udvega diyachi kata diyachi jivera klesha.
নিজ সুখ লাগি পাপে নাহি ডরি দয়াহীন স্বার্থপর
Nija sukha lagi pape nahi dari daya hina sartapara.
পর সুখে দুঃখী সদা মিথ্যাভাসী মোরা দুঃখ সুখ কর
Para sukhe dukhi sada mitya basi para dukha sukha kara.
অশেষ কামনা হৃদি মাঝে মোর প্রতিদম্ভ পরায়ণ
Asesha kamana hridi maje mora bodhidamba parayana.
Bodhidamba parayana.
মদ মত সদা বিষয়ে মোহিত হিংসা গর্ভ বিভূষণ
Madhava sadaisaye mohita hinsa garba vibhushana.
বিদ্যালস্য হত সুকার্যে বিরত অকার্যে উদ্যোগী আমি
Nidralasya hata aye virata aye udogiyami.
প্রতিষ্ঠা লাগিয়া সঠ আচরণ লোভহত সদা কামি
Pratishta lagiya satya acharana subhata sadakami.
এহেন দুর্জন সজ্জন বর্জিত অপরাধী নিরন্তর
Ihina durjana sadhyana bharjita paradhi nirantara.
শুভ কার্য শূন্য সদানর্থ মন নানা দুঃখে জর জর
Shubha kaya punya sadhana tamana nana dukhe jara jara.
বার্ধক্যে খন উপায় বিহীন তাতে দিন কিঞ্চন
Bhardhake ehana upayas vihita tate dina akinchana.
ভকতি বিনোদ প্রভুর চরণে করে দুঃখ নিবেদন
Bhakti Vinoda Prabhura Charane Kare Tukani Vedana
আমার জীবন সদা পাপের নাহিক পুণ্যের লেশ
Amara Jivana Sada Paperasta Nahi Kapnera Lesha
পরের উদ্বেগ দিয়াছি যে কত দিয়াছি জীবের ক্লেশ
Parera Ubeka Diyachi Hekata Diyachi Jive Diya Klesha
Haribo.
Hare Krishna.
Sripad Muni Maharaj can sing. Is he there?
I'm not sure. Muni Maharaj, I think already went to rest, I think.
Okay. If you can sing the page 65, Nitai Pada Kamala.
Who? Uma Didi?
Yes, you can sing
Yes,
that.
yes, my sound is okay, Maharaj. I can sing.
Page number?
65.
What is the page number?
My sound is okay, Maharaj. Yeah, sound is okay.
Yes, yes, we can hear.
Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Sushila Ye Chaya Ya Jagata Judaya
Nitai Prata Kamala
Koti Chandra
Koti Chandra Shitala
Vichaya
Jaya Jagata Judaya
Yena Nitai Vina Bai Radha Na Paitena Hiruda Karidara Niteraya
Hena
Hello,
Nitai Radha Krishna Paitena Vedhakari Dharani Tayara Paya
Shesham Bandana Hiyara Rota Janma Jela Tara Shepa Subhada
He Pashu
Nitai na balila muke majila samsara suke vidya kule ki kari bekara
Nitana Bamuke Majila Samsara Suke Vidya Kule Kikari Vedara
Ahankara mata haina nitai pada pasariya astare satya karimane.
Ahankare matahaina Nithai pada pasariya Asachere satyakari mani
Nitaira karuna habe Majaraja Napabe Dara nitaira charani
Nitai
Nithaye Karnahabe Radhe Radha Krishna Pabe Dharanitaye Charandurani
Nitaire charana satya jahara sevaka nitai pada sadakaraha
Nithaye Charana Satya Anha Sevakanitya Thai Para Sadakara Asa
Narotama bada duki nitai mora karasuki raka ranga charanera pasa
Narottama Badaduki Nitai More Karasuki Rakaranga Charane Rapasa
nitai pada kamala koti chandra sushitala ya jaya ya jagato juda
Nitai
Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Sushitala Echayaya Jagata Judaya
Yena nitai Yena nitai vina bai Radha Krishna paite nahi Druda kari dara nitai paya
Hena Nitai
Bai Radha Krishna Paitenai Ridhakari Dharani Tarapaya
Jaya Litai Jaya Jaya Litai Jaya Litai Jaya Litai
Jaya Jaya Nitai Jaya Jaya Nitai Jaya Jaya Nitai Jaya Jaya Nitai Jaya
Krishna Keshava Prabhu.
Yes, Raj Prabhu.
What we can do now, maybe we can read from the book and Maharaj can explain, or Maharaj is not feeling well to explain the verses.
From this song, Nitai Shanta Maharaj, he said, we'll do this part.
Okay.
We are going to read from Prapanna Jivanamrita, no, Maharaj?
Yes.
Yes.
Which is the What is the page number, Maharaj? Do you remember?
The page I think was
24, you
26 or
think?
27.
27.
27.
No, I think 26, 27 I have. I don't know the verse exactly, but I marked the page last time we were.
27 on the PDF, no?
Yeah, 27.
Yes, well, 27 in the
21.
book. I think it's the same in the.
Verse 22, I think. Verse 20.
22.
Can be
Yeah, page
22. Okay.
Page 27.
Yes,
At
that's
the
right.
bottom. At the
Verse
bottom.
22.
Exactly. 27. Verse 22.
Yeah.
We offer our humble dandavat, Sripad Puri Maharaj, and by his mercy and blessing, we are going to read from Prapanna Jivanamrita, this verse 22. There we are starting. Paripurna kama harir evasrayo niyo anyad heyam avismitam tam paripurna kamam sevanaiva labhena samam prasantam pasarpatya aparnam hi balisah swa langulin atita arti sindhum. This is from, I think, BHA means what? It is Bhagavatam.
Yes.
What is, I think, Bhagavatam.
Bhagavatam.
Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 9.22. One should take refuge in the fully self-satisfied Supreme Lord Hari. The shelter of other gods yields a lamentable inferior result. Lord Krishna is perfectly replete in everything desirable, fully self-sufficient, poised and tranquil. Nothing can be astonishing for him. Only a fool disregards him to take shelter in any demigod whose propitiation may be prescribed for the accomplishment of worldly benefits. Such a person may be compared to one who seizes a dog's tail in order to cross the ocean.
Right.
Such a nice verse.
Mhm.
Maharaj, shall we continue reading or what we shall do?
Yes. Do you have anything you like to comment?
I was remembering Srila Prabhupada many times told about this, demigod worship, because I think he faced a lot of, difficulties to preach in India, because in India so many demigod worshippers, and sometimes it is very difficult. And he used to quote one verse from Bhagavad Gita, which I always remember: "Antavattu phalam tesam tadbhavyat alpamedasam." Devan deva yajayanti madbhaktayanti mamapi. He used to say that alpamedasa, or less intelligence, which is also, I think, it is explained the same thing here, having less intelligence, and they ignore Krishna and worship demigods. So the results coming from demigods is of limited or temporary in nature. And Prabhupada used to say Krishna is Supreme Lord, and all the results coming from is also of that infinite nature. And that verse also says that those who worship demigods, they go to ultimately the demigods abode. But those who are worshipping Krishna, ultimately they reach the Krishna's abode. So
Maharaj,
yes, Prabhu.
I was also remembering one purport Srila Prabhupada gave in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where in order to harmonize with all the demigod worshippers, he said that they may worship Durga, Surya, Ganesh, and Shiva, as the Brahma Samhita does, where they worship the four of those gods in reference to Govinda. They actually like glorify them very nicely, but in reference to Govinda.
Yes. Actually, Gita also Krishna says, those who are worshipping demigods, actually they are worshipping me, but their way of worship is not correct. Actually, all the demigods get that power from Krishna only. So people are worshipping the power of Krishna without knowing that, actually. And background, there is Krishna is there. It is being told that demigods always remember that behind their power Krishna is there, but human being, they forget. That is the difference being told. And sometimes when demigods even forget, then Krishna reminds them, actually.
I also remember when Srila Govinda Maharaj was very young. At the time he was collecting money with Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, that he was very young and didn't know how to answer properly to a question. He said that he went to collect some money, but some people they are devotees of Durga, but I don't know what to tell them. And Srila Prabhupada said, but it's very simple. If you see Krishna is with the cowboys and eating sandesh and some sweet and playing, and if you go to Durga, you have with Mother Durga, what happened? They say they kill their own sons and they cut the heads. You say, what do you prefer to do? I mean, you go to with Krishna, you want to go with Durga. And that, that good example, no?
Yeah.
This is a very simple. Say what you prefer.
I think Govinda Maharaj told to Prabhupada, if I tell like that directly to them, then they will beat me. Then Prabhupada told them, explain something intelligently.
I think the demigods also means if you worship some powerful person, even in this world. Those who take to, in younger ages, they worship so many, what do they call them, musical idols, singers and things like that.
Yes.
Or
Yes, ma'am.
movie stars or politicians even today. Some people have so much respect for
Temple.
the certain Trumpers or
Modi temple, Maharaj. Somewhere in India, they built a Modi temple.
yes, so they take these people as some type of idols, and they they think that by honoring them and being enthusiastic about them, they're going to get some benefit. But and that is what this is explaining here also. Like that's like grabbing the tail of the dog to make some progress in this world. That won't help. That won't help them very much. Tendency is there to worship. And us, we have that tendency. So that tendency must be utilized properly, however. An intelligent person will understand. Why should I worship some lesser power? Why not the greatest? They're all inclusive. Man, it's intelligent persons.
Also, Maharaj, these demigod worshippers, when they worship in India, they worship them very attentively or some love for a few days. Then they do visarjan of those deities for demigods into the water. They immerse them in water. But that's because that shows that is temporary. I mean, the demigod body and demigod, that position is also temporary.
Right.
But Krishna and his worship, that is not being done like that. Not
not
immersed in
allowed.
water.
Yes. Yeah, it's very good. They have that tradition specifically to tell them.
Yes.
That is to inform them that their worship is meaningless in the end, and that they should try to find some other path of worship. Sometimes these Vedic rules are there, for certain people of a certain mentality, but ultimately to teach them to come to the higher position, higher platform. Even this eating of flesh,
Yes.
they have to sacrifice first. Take their best animal and sacrifice that. So, and then to teach them, explain to them, that this is ultimately not the best thing to do. Anyhow, it doesn't force anyone. They have to come by their own realization, by knowledge, not by force, by realization. They have to come to the higher understanding.
Maharaj, we were reading this teaching of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Srila Sanatana Goswami. There's something interesting that Mahaprabhu said to Srila Sanatana Goswami, that jivas may come to Krishna for many temporary mundane things, and Krishna is thinking at that time that they are foolish, but I am not foolish. Then why shall I give them those things? So I will deceive them, not give what they are looking the lowest thing, and instead of that, I will give my lotus feet to them and make them forget those all incorrect things.
Yes.
Krishna is like that.
Yes, you know the story of Kubja?
Kubja, yes, Maharaj.
You tell this story?
Yes, Maharaj, the Kubja story, you mean to say when that sandalwood pulp she offered, or before that?
Kubja, the hunchback.
Yes, she was offering a sandalwood pulp to Kamsa. That one? That's
no. When she came to Krishna?
Yes, same lady.
What is the story?
Oh, actually, we heard that Maharaj, she was in previous life the sister of Ravan, Surpanakha.
Okay.
And then she developed a desire to have a marriage with Lord Ram. And Lord Ram was having a vow that he will only marry one wife. Then he sent her to Lakshman. Go, and he is alone, and maybe you can approach him, and maybe he will fulfill your desire. Then Lakshman, being in the position of servant and also representative as guru, he thought that this jiva has a very nice desire, that she wants to have a relation with Lord. Then I will make arrangement that she cannot have any other relation than Lord only. Then he made her look ugly by cutting her nose. Then after that, many lives she took birth in very ugly forms, and finally in Dwapar Yuga, when she came as Kubja, this like having a big back, and the bone is grown up and looking very ugly, and she was serving actually Kamsa by giving him the sandalwood paste actually. Then when Krishna Balram came in the chariot of Akrur, then Krishna could remember her desire when she was Surpanakha in past, and he went to her and told, "Oh, my dear beautiful lady." Then she was surprised and shocked, and said, "Everybody tells me I'm ugly, and why you are making fun of me and telling me I'm beautiful?" "No, no, really, you are very beautiful," Krishna says to her. And then he put one leg on her leg, and then lift her, like, this chin, and she becomes very beautiful. And then she remember her past desire, and she wanted to have some relation with Krishna, and she invited him to her house. Then Krishna told, "No, now Baladev is with me, I will come later." Then we came to know that the same Puja came as I think what is the name, Kasi Mishra in Mahaprabhu's pastime, who gave the house of that Gambira where Mahaprabhu stayed. That house is given by this Kubja only, Kasi Mishra. So in that way, Krishna fulfilled her desire.
Okay. I only heard that Krishna told her and straightened her back,
Yes,
and fulfilled her desire. But I had not heard it was through Kashi Mishra pastimes.
Yes. This is being discussed many times, Maharaj, in our mat, about this Kasi Mishra's pastime when we go to Mahaprabhu's that Gambira that time.
Very nice.
She had a lot of beautiful development from Lord Ram's first time up to Mahaprabhu's first time.
All right. There's hope for everyone.
Yes.
Even if you go to Krishna with the wrong intention. But the fact that you go to Krishna, just as Putana also went with the wrong intention. Yes. But she was blessed by Krishna for coming to him with a maternal. So he sees the good. If you come to him, he will see the good in us and correct any defects.
Yes,
what is that verse from the Gita?
Apichesu durachari.
Yes. No, that one also, but another one where it says, I carry what they lack.
Yoga Kema Bahamyam.
Yes. Yoga Kema Bahamyam. How does that verse? How's that verse go?
I'm looking, Maharaj. Tesam Nyabhi Mukha, that one I think, maybe. Let me see, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj. It is in Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter, verse 22. Ananyasa chintayanto mam ye jana prayo pasate tesam nityabhiyuktanam yogakhema bahamyaham.
What's the translation?
There are those who always think of me and engage in exclusive devotion to me. To them, whose minds are always absorbed in me, I provide what they lack and preserve what they already possess.
Yes. So that's guy coming to Krishna, even for some service, even if it has some defect, he will provide the necessary and correction and preserve what is the good in there, good in them at the same time. Krishna's mercy. Very good. Continue.
Okay, Maharaj. we are reading verse 23 on Papanand Jivanamrita. Harer eva sarvo dhari tvam kirata hunadra pulinda ukasa avira suhama yavanah kasadayah ye अन्ये च पापयद उपाश्रया श्रयः शुद्ध्यन्ति तस्मै परा भविष्णवे नमः. Bhagavatam 2.4.18. Only Sri Hari is capable of delivering the living being in all circumstances. Persons such as those belonging to the races known as Kirata, Una, Andhra, Pulinda, Ukasa, Avira, Suma, Kanka, Yavana, and Kasa, nay, persons of each and every sinful birth are perfectly purified without a doubt by taking shelter of the devotees surrendered to Lord Vishnu, the Almighty. I do offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Maharaj, you want to say something?
You first.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I was remembering this when we were reading these teachings of Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami, and he was describing this Atmarama verse. And in that, many explanations he has given, and most of the explanations, as I felt, he was telling about how even Gyanis, even Yogis, and even he was telling those who are like, Jada, non-moving, they can be getting some, spiritual upliftment by association of the devotees, and they can change their present position, and they can get attracted towards Lord's service. And he was giving some examples like the Sukadev Goswami. He was absorbed in some impersonal conception, and he was very much attracted by listening the qualities of the Lord. And Mahaprabhu also told about the Chatus Kumaras. They were also having some lower conception, but they are get influenced by the smell of tulsi coming from the lotus feet of Lord. And he was also telling many examples in that of various such transformations, and how even the low born persons, like he was giving the example of one hunter. He told the whole story how Narad Rushi changed that hunter who was cruelly killing all these animals. And later on, he was such a great devotee that he was even attentive towards ants when he was coming to offer Dandavat to his guru, Narad Rushi. So such transformation he found. Uh, and Narad Rishi's friend, Parvat Muni, when he seen that such a transformation occurred in the life of that greatly cruel person, then he told Narad Rishi, like, you are like a touchstone. You are changing the lowest persons into something higher state. Like that, that story Mahaprabhu narrated. I could remember that, Maharaj, about devotee association.
Yes, who was that hunter? Magrari?
Yes, Maharaj, Mugari.
Magrari. He was.
Migari, yeah.
I remember he was trained by his father
Yes, Maharaj.
how to half kill the animals to watch them suffer. He was taught that is the best way to treat the animal. Make them half dead and watch them suffer to death. Hare Krishna. Then Narada Muni met him and told him, and showed him actually first that what will happen to him how he will suffer when he dies because he's making the animals suffer like that. That it will happen to him is karmic reaction. Anyhow, he convinced him that it's not the way to do things. And he was convinced by his own dreams that it was a very terrible thing he was doing. And Narada Muni showed him the proper way. And he would become exalted by following the proper way of doing things. And he became so influenced by the purity of Narada Muni that he gave up all kinds of hunting. And he went to live as a sadhu in the forest. And when Narada Muni came to see him after some time, when he was living in the hut, the people used to come and bring him food, and they would honor him as a great devotee. And he came to see him. And when he came, at Nagari, he saw Narada Muni, and before he came to his door, he ran to him. But he came running to him in a very crooked way, going like this and like that, and like this and like that. And not knowing what he was thinking, what is the matter with him? Is he some kind of intoxication? So finally, he got to him and offered his dandavats very carefully, cleaning the spot where he was offering the dandavats, and then he had his feet head at his feet. And Narada Muni said, "Why were you going like that? I thought you were intoxicated." "Oh no, I was just trying not to step on any ants. I don't want to kill the ants." So purified.
Krishna Kesava Prabhu, if you can mute one mic, then the echo will not come, because some echo is coming there.
Yeah, we have to remember that.
And Maharaj, actually, this Mrigari, he was worried when Narad Rishi told that you have to give up all your wealth and everything, and you make a arrangement for your spiritual life by living in a simple way. Then he was telling how I can maintain my life. Then Narad Rishi says him, I will send all the things that you need. Then he was getting so many things. Then it was very much like extra, too much thing that people are giving to him. Then he requested Narad Rishi, please don't send so much. I only need, for two people, they are sending so much.
And also explaining here in this verse how many different types of human beings there were. In the Vedas, it says there are 400,000, 4 lakh human forms, human species. 400,000 different human species. The Huns are mentioned here, I think, huh?
Yes, Maharaj.
Huns. In English, the Huns are also a type of people. I think they were from Mongolia, yes. And they were very violent people. Everyone was afraid of them. They would come and they were just killed indiscriminately. So, such mentalities are there in the human civilization. Some are very cruel, merciless. Others are more refined mentality. We can see in the human civilization, they were each considered different forms of human beings, not all the same. So we don't know 400,000. We don't. We don't even count that many different countries. So the mentality of each individual, each tribe or race was different, and people are born from those races and have those qualities.
Well, demigod does not come, no, in that?
I don't know. human beings. I'm not sure if that includes those who are on the other planets. That's because that's not only this planet, but all the planets are counted in that.
Yes, Maharaj. There are
Anyhow,
Kinnaras, Gandharvas, so many.
yes. So anyhow, now they find in the fossils that what is that? Not the Piltdown man, but the other one.
Giants.
Huh?
Giants.
Well, they find giants, and they also found Neanderthal, huh? Neanderthal and different types of people they call. Even found these small people,
Dwarf.
like pygmy or dwarf or
Pygmies.
hobbits or whatever. They find the small people. They find gigantic people. And they find in Neanderthal those more animal-like skull or whatever. Anyhow, they have so many different theories now about Neanderthal. But the point is, they're thinking these are different evolutionary stages of a human being, right? But they're not. They were all there together. Veda doesn't explain things in terms of evolution. They all have their place, their niche in the environment, serving different purposes. So this is something the evolutionists haven't yet learned. They have this idea. I was thinking that the other day. They have this idea so ingrained in their mind that indoctrinated, so they can't understand anything outside of that. No matter how much you explain, I think they are of a different race also. The evolutionists and the non-evolutionists. I heard one person one time criticize them, and he said, "Yes, I think your grandmother must have been a monkey because they can't understand anything outside of that idea." All right. Any other comment?
Is those 400,000 human species is a level of consciousness, or is actually like race, different race?
Well, the same thing. I think it's the same thing. Race and level of consciousness.
Okay.
We don't know that everything, that your birth is coming because of your development of consciousness. That's a subjective evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Your body and your life that you have now is due to your consciousness, not that your consciousness comes from your body. Your body comes from your consciousness. So according to the development of consciousness, we'll take a different body to suit that level.
Okay.
Maharaj, also during different times there may be some big earthquakes, and we heard that the whole cities, they are buried actually. So different ages, such type of things might have happened. And then we heard that the lifespans and people height and their built the body build up and everything was little different than other times. So what they are finding is those things, then some kind of like a sequential development that they somehow assume in all this fossil.
What are you saying?
I'm saying, Maharaj, sometimes we heard that there are big earthquakes.
Yes,
and,
like in Pompeii. You know Pompeii in Italy?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
You heard of Pompeii? That volcano? What was the name of that volcano?
Volcano.
Vesuvius?
Vesuvius, huh? Vesuvius volcano exploded.
Mount Vesuvius.
No?
Mount Vesuvius.
Oh, Mount Vesuvius. It exploded, and all the lava came and covered all the people. And they are preserved. still in the lava and the ash form. Their bodies are perfectly preserved. They're just as they, in the same way they were living. And the volcano must have come so quickly that you can still see the people there, their forms. Some are holding one another in different poses. They were just immediately, what do you call that?
Petrified.
Petrified, yes.
Shanta Maharaj is saying something a little different.
What is your saying, Maharaj?
I'm saying that the whole city buried Maharaj.
Yes.
By
They get buried.
earthquake.
By birth.
Underground, like they sink because of earthquake. So there's no trace of any people, how big or what races they may have been.
So whole city went down into the earth, and they are being preserved in that way because that went down, toppled actually. And also we heard that big floods, like especially Dwarka, the ocean came and took over the whole city into its, boom.
Right.
So then those things they are seeing, but they're not seeing. They're not, it is not preserved like a gradual sequence as they, think.
Actually, there is no. They call it geologic column. There's no place on the earth where the whole geologic column can be found. They've only found little pieces here and there, and they put those pieces together, and they call that the geologic column. You know that? Otherwise, it's not found in one piece anywhere on the earth. And how they can explain that? Different layers. Why there are different layers like that? They say it's just soil deposits, one on top of the other. Where did that soil come from? Nobody says. They're from the air or somehow over centuries. That soil gets deposited one layer after another. But how does that explain? Where's that soil coming from? They never tell you. So that other man, what's his name?
His name is, I forgot the one name.
Oh, who told us not from deposit of soil, but from
Guy
Bertol, huh? Guy Bertol.
Yes.
He said it's not from that. It's from flood, huh? Some water deposits.
Yes.
Silt from the water is piling up the layers like that, and not
He
from
was telling that Maharaj in the ocean, the sediments, they deposit at different
rates. Yes.
That represent different ecology.
Yeah. So they think it's just from deposit from the air. There's somebody coming. Somehow the soil is coming into the packing on top of one another, but it's not like that at all. It's from the flooding and sedimentation that it's arising. So all those fossils are sorted once they're in the water and sand mixed. They get assorted into different levels. Not that they appeared at different levels. It could happen in a short time. All that sedimentation. A lot of things that people don't consider nowadays because they are indoctrinated with one idea only. Somehow that has become the favorite idea over the last 200 years or so. Whereas previously people didn't think like that. For thousands of years, people never had the idea of evolution like that. The main population. Sana, Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Mike is muted.
Yes.
Is he driving in a car?
Oh, he's in the car, I think.
Yes, that strap, that safety belt.
Your mic is muted, Jana Didi. Your mic is muted. Microphone muted.
All right. Next page, 29.
24 Maharaj, page 29. Yes.
The verse, yes, 24.
Verse 24. Go ahead.
Okay, Maharaj. Hari charanasrita eva sara grahino अन्यथा कर्म योगाद्वीर आत्म गतित्वम अथात आनंद दुघम पदम भुजम हंस श्रियेरन अरविंद लोचन सुखम नु विश्वेश्वर योग कर्मा भिस तन मयामी विहात न मानिनः. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.29.3. Only surrendered souls can properly distinguish substance from form. Those who disregard Lord Hari to seek happiness on the empirical paths based on yoga and karma are simply on a suicidal course. O lotus-eyed one, the swans, topmost pure devotees, Paramahamsas, take refuge in your ecstasy-yielding lotus feet. O universal Lord, those who do not accept the joy of the shelter of your lotus feet and pursue the paths of abstract liberation and mundane acquisition, such persons are devastated by your deluding potency. Substance and form thing. Yeah.
What's the difference?
Actually, we were reading in other day Maharaj, Sridhar Maharaj was saying that spiritual world is all about, the substance. That is the most important thing. And here, more importance is given to the form. I was saying that. It means outward thing, outward, covering. That's what Sridhar Maharaj was saying.
This is to say, I am a form breaker, not a form maker. He told that. When ISKCON heard that, they were very afraid of him. They said, look, he's a form breaker. He's trying to break up ISKCON. They actually thought like that. He told himself, as a rascal, you see, I am form breaker. He's trying to take Prabhupada's disciples and leave ISKCON. Anyhow, but what is the difference? In the ultimate sense, there is no substance without form. And there's no form without substance. They're not different. They seem to be different, but they're the same thing ultimately. In the absolute sense, form and substance are the same. Can't separate one from the other, just like the head and tail of a coin. You can't separate one from the other. Or the magnet, the North Pole, South Pole, you can't separate them. The magnet has that, both sides. Coin has both sides. In the spiritual world also, form and substance are the same. Material world, we make a distinction. So what is what? How do you explain them?
Maharaj, actually the substance has to be seen as something very gross in the mundane world. I mean, earth is being, considered as the grossest thing, and it is considered as the lowest thing. But in the spiritual plane, that is considered the topmost thing, and the sound is considered the lowest thing there, which is the ethereal thing, which is the most subtle thing in the material world. So when we are approaching Lord Hari, then it has to do with something of Visuddha Sattva nature, not of this three mode understanding that we have in this world. I mean, it has to do with something of non-dual nature. So there, the self and the form, whatever we can say, there is no difference there.
What is the substance of the Ganges River?
Maharaj, there is echo coming. Now it is unmuted both.
Is it muted? Okay. What is the substance of the Ganges?
In the modern science thinks it is H2O, Maharaj, but we know that it is transcendental, coming from the lotus feet of the Lord. So it is nothing to do with
H2O. H2O is the Ganges?
That's what they think water is H2O.
I have some H2O in my glass. That is the Ganges. Huh?
Yes, Maharaj.
Is it? Now the H2O that's in the Ganges right now is as you say, is the Ganges. But if the H2O that was in the Ganges yesterday, that wasn't the Ganges?
Same Ganges, Maharaj.
Huh?
It's the same Ganges.
Then it's not. How can it be? The H2O that was in the Ganges yesterday is not there today. Huh?
Yes, it is constantly changing.
Yes.
And yet the identity is preserved.
And what identity?
As the river Ganges.
What is that?
Actually, that we can actually sadhu see that as personality, Ganges.
What do you say, Raj?
But is the absolute consideration of a thing is the Ganges, not the temporary. So in the absolute way, that? Ganges is still the same.
What is that? Absolute consideration of the Ganges?
It's transcendental.
It's transcendental. What is it, though?
It's not the physical thing that we see. It's something more than that.
What is it? Krishna Keshav. What do you say?
The Ganges, well, in terms of substance, Spinoza said substance is causa sui, that which is its own cause. So that's what substance is, that which is its own cause. And substance has being. We were just talking earlier, Krishna is being. Vasudeva Sarvamati. So Krishna is being and Krishna is substance, because substance is that which is self-caused. And that's Krishna. Sarva Karana Karanam. And the Ganges is also a part of Krishna, but sat-cit-ananda, that's what it's made of. Those are the ingredients of that substance, sat-cit-ananda. Instead of H2O, which is Maya substance, it's transcendental substance, it's sat-cit-ananda.
They're very high. But let's say I'm talking about, let's say Shanta. Well, let's say Socrates. Okay? Now, in the Greek time, they used to think, who is Socrates? Is he that figure that is sitting down? Is he the figure that is lying down? Is he the figure that is eating? Is he the figure that is running? Which one is Socrates? Which one? What do you say? Anyone?
All of them are.
How is it possible? Then is it just some body and some configuration of the body?
No,
there are different instances of that Socrates.
Huh? What is that Socrates said? Kanapriya, do you know the answer?
I get no, not really. I just thinking he has different the characteristics of someone. He has many things, many characteristics
Yeah.
in one thing.
Do you know that verse in the
Which one?
Gita? The Dehinosmin yata dehe. Dehinosmin yata dehe. Kamaram yovanam shara. Tata dehantara praptir dhirastatra nimithe. That verse says, just as the embodied soul goes from childhood to youth to old age.
Oh.
You know that one?
Mm-hmm.
That the intelligent man is not bewildered by such things.
Mm.
Right? So what is that they're talking about?
The individual concept, not the particular manifestation.
What is it called in Sanskrit?
Oh, we spoke about this last week, Maharaj, didn't you? Or the concept of
the Atma, huh?
Atma.
The soul. Dehi knows that which is embodied. What is that? That's embodied. The embodiment of the thing and that thing itself. What is that called? That's the Atma, huh? The soul.
Mm-hmm.
Shanta Maharaj?
Yes, Maharaj.
Your body has gone through so many changes and is also changing all the time. Now you're in Bangalore. Now you're sitting down. Sometimes you're getting up, going to the store, doing so many things, right? Is that still the same person?
Yes, Maharaj.
And who is that? Can you define it in terms of a particular configuration of atoms, molecules, physical things? Huh? The Ganges River. Ganges River. What particular things can you describe it in terms of? It's all are changing. Everything is changing constantly.
It's a concept. Ganges is a concept, you can say, Maharaj.
But what is that?
It's a concept of the person who sees that thing as Ganges, and Ganges has its own identity also, but it has to do with how we see things. It depends on our concept also.
Who are you then?
I am a stumbling being in material world.
What are you? Huh? What are you? Who are you? Uma Devi.
She's her own entity, Maharaj, isn't she?
Huh?
Ganges is her own entity.
I can't hear what you said.
Ganges is her own entity.
Is her own entity. Then who are you?
So I'm the spirit soul. I'm Jiva.
Yes. But what is that? Can you give any word to that?
Das.
I am a servant of Krishna.
Oh.
This is who I am.
Yes. So nice. So nice to hear. So nice to hear from you, Zana. So you ever heard the word essence? Essence.
Mm-hmm.
Essence. Essence seeker. You know, essence. Sargrahi in Bengali. Sargrahi, you know? Shantamar, is that the word?
Yes, Maharaj. Saragrahi. Yes,
Saragrahi. Huh? Essence seeker. Essence. Who is the essence? There's the being and there's the essence. There's what looks immediately, the immediate thing that's there in front of you, that you can see, that you can measure, that you can do so many things. But what is the essence? What is that? That's behind the thing, no?
Yes.
That's what's behind it. That's the truth of what you see, that essence. So you're not that outer form and shape and activity. Somehow that's all the property of your essence. The essence is the real thing. And these things are manifestations of the essence. So this is what Bhagavad Gita is teaching in that verse. Okay? Your body changes. That can't be you. You look at the picture, oh, here I am when I was a baby, here I am when I was a boy, a girl, here I am when I was an adult. Here is my picture of old age. That's not you. Something else is there that you are talking about. That's called the essence. And the higher is the concept. The higher degree of the essence is the concept. That which informs the essence. That which tells us what the essence is. It's like that there's higher and higher levels. And ultimately, yes, we have to go to Krishna. And because everything is just a part of that whole. Part of that entirety, the totality of what is. We're only part of that.
So, Maharaj, essence of everything, we can say it is Krishna?
Ultimately, when we get to essence, we'll have to go to the higher, like I said, higher plane of concept, and then from the concept to the idea, absolute idea, and there we find a personality of Godhead as the Supreme Person. We have told this several times already about Aristotle. He traced that idea, that absolute idea, to noesis. The nous, or noesis, means thinking. That's one aspect of it he got right. Noesis, noesios, noesis. The thought that thinks itself. So, in philosophy, if we study philosophy, we'll go through these different stages. We'll have to go. Because logically it follows. You can't be just the external, moving, changing appearance. That can't be you. Which one is you? Tell me, show me the picture. What's that? Show me the picture of you. Which one is you? You can't tell. Huh? What is that?
Maharaj, I just sent the link of tomorrow's, joining. If anybody wants, they can join tomorrow at 4:30.
Oh, yes. So we have to understand that we have to go through those different levels of understanding what we're talking about. What is it we are talking about? How to study that? How to realize those things? By simple, it's complicated, but at the same time, it's very simple. Once we get through all the misinformation, the misunderstanding we have. So, look for.
Can I ask a question in terms of
yes.
essence and identity?
Yes.
Can you explain the difference, essence and identity, and identity? How is that?
What is that? What's the difference between essence and identity? Well, I think Sana gave the answer to that. You are the servant. That is your identity. How is it? You are identified by your service to Krishna, by your particular relationship with Krishna. That is your true identity. Essence is just to point out your difference from being. What is the difference between you and being?
So were you saying that in essence, we're of Krishna, but in identity, we are servants to him?
In essence, we are spirit. We're not this body. We're not the outer configuration of things. That's an outer conception, sensuous. But there's something deeper than that we are. Or the Ganges is, or anything is.
And is it important to point out that essence is
It sounds like what Maharaj is saying is that essence is only in relation to outer form. When we're considering body, outer form, then essence is what is behind that. But on the platform of not considering I am the body at all, then essence falls away because it's only a term that is in reference to that external appearance. And then when we're just considering spiritual things, then that's where he said we have the concept and then the absolute idea, which is higher than that.
So is that where we understand the essence is then of that higher idea, which is Krishna? In the Gita, where he's saying that, you know, we are sparks of the Lord, like in essence.
Yes, we have to understand higher and higher, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Don't stop at any point until you get to the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Otherwise, there are different levels.
So it sounds like essence is a level, but not that. It's only a level in reference to body still. But
Yeah.
then once we get away from body,
Either way, that's a level. Either way.
Understand.
Just like I heard one time Sridhar Maharaj explain that from coming from that higher level, you come to a hazy level. Chidabhas, the shadow level. And then you come to the ghost level. So there are different levels.
Mm.
And these are different levels of knowledge also. Pratyaksha, Paroksha, Aparoksha, Adhoksaja, and Aprakrita. Different levels. Everything, even in the Aprakrita world, is different levels.
So would you say that essence is consciousness?
Is what?
Consciousness?
Consciousness. Well, consciousness is something different than essence. Because Krishna Kesava has properly said essence is in relationship to the being. Body. It is the truth of being. But consciousness is you could say a state of the soul. The soul and its or life. When life comes in its immediate form as a body, when the soul comes in its immediate form as a body, when the self, or I should say the Atma, Jivatma comes in touch with the body or is embodied, then we can speak of the soul as the immediate connection between the higher and the embodied existence. Our higher spiritual existence and the body existence, that connecting point is called the soul. Something that is understood in relationship to the body. The soul, how it manifests its own qualities as a body. Then we can speak of the soul. And beyond the body, then we don't really speak of the soul so much as the Atma, which is, you might call it a particular aspect or manifestation of the spirit, what we call spirit. And they're difficult things to explain without going through all the different levels. Spirit, the soul, consciousness. Consciousness occurs within the subject-object duality. When the soul is divided within itself into a subject and object, mental and physical. They're two sides of the same thing. And in that division, we call it, there's where consciousness arises, between the subject and object. Consciousness is always a subject opposed to an object. So it arises at that point. If we can actually go beyond consciousness to reach the spirit, to reach the higher world. It has to go beyond consciousness. Although we call it Krishna consciousness, that's also there, but it's really also beyond that. In this world, we can speak of Krishna consciousness. And that world, it's like, you could call it the essence of consciousness, I suppose, your relationship. There's no subject-object duality there. But you can't understand that from here. We'll have to go through different stages of realization to understand how the object and subject become undifferentiated in a higher plane. We were talking about that the other day. We mentioned aparoksha. Aparoksha is where the infinite and finite, where the infinite comes to the finite and establishes a connection. When the finite and infinite are indistinguishable to some degree. But it's the infinite coming to the finite, touching the finite. And as we go higher, the finite enters into the infinite. That's called Adhokshaja. And the finite, that's or Vaikuntha. See? And Vaikuntha is spiritual, but Krishna is still considered Narayan, Vishnu. Considered in his almighty form. And yet, if you go higher than that, you come to the plane of aprakrita. There, the infinite becomes the finite, and enters into the finite, so-called finite. It appears as an ordinary boy with ordinary people, but it's all infinite. In Vaikuntha, it's all infinite, but the finite is submerged. Finite is infinite. Finite is part of the infinite. Yes. Everything is there. It's four-armed. It's not really the finite. It's the infinite. Finite has distinct qualities of two arms. There, the four arms represent the infinite form of the finite. And in the aprakrita and in Vrindavan, Goloka, there the infinite takes the form of the finite. And no problem for him. Apparent finite. Of course, that's the finite in the Mahayoga platform. The Yogamaya platform. Finite, infinite, a playing between one. There's a play between the finite and the infinite in the higher world. In the material world, it's finite, and the infinite is forgotten. We're unconscious. As we go to the higher planes, finite becomes predominant, or the infinite becomes prominent, and then all of a sudden the finite becomes prominent with the infinite within that. Understand? When Mother Yasoda looked into Krishna's mouth, she saw the infinite. So inside the finite was the infinite. See?
Yes, Maharaj.
That's a prakrita. Inside the finite is the infinite. That's his inconceivable potency also. But in Vaikuntha, the infinite is there, and we are in that. All have four arms there. Krishna and the living entity. Finite living entity it takes on an infinite form also. But not the smaller infinite and bigger infinite. But in the higher world, the infinite is kind of suppressed, more or less suppressed. the power of Yogamaya. As all mysterious knowledge, secret knowledge, can be revealed to the devotee. How that's all possible, what's happening. Not until you're ready to get to that platform, however. It won't be revealed to us. What's that?
So,
Put on your mic?
it's a question.
Oh. What?
So, in Maya, we have.
Say it.
In Maya, in material world, we're under the influence of Mahamaya. In Vrindavan, they're under the influence of Yogamaya. But in Vaikuntha, are they not also under the influence of Yogamaya?
I think it must be there. Must be there. But I don't know. They called it Aishwarya. How is it called? Santa Maharaj, do you know? And that energy is called Aishwarya.
Yes, Aishwarya plane, Maharaj.
The Aishwarya plane. Just like Navadvip and Vrindavan. What's the difference? They're identical except that different potencies are there. Navadvip is called Audarya. Plane of Audarya Lila. Audarya means Madhurya with distribution. Audarya with distribution. Madhurya with distribution is called Audarya. And Vrindavan is called Madhurya. So there's difference. Madhurya is privately experienced. But Audarya is experienced, privately experienced, but manifested also, distributed outside of itself. Audarya. And then Vaikuntha is called Aishwarya. Aishwarya means the plane of opulence, luxury, luxurious. What do you want to say? Opulence, opulence, greatness, not magnanimity, but magnificence. There's magnificence, and there is magnanimity. Magnificence and the Vaikuntha. Magnanimity is found in the Audarya plane. Magnanimity. Namo Mahavadhanaya. Krishna Prema Pradayate. Magnanimity. Vaikuntha. So yes, I would imagine Maya, what is that? Yoga Maya is also influencing there to some degree. There's devotion, there's worship of Narayan. That is also within the Aradhana platform, but not exactly. There, instead of Radha, we have Lakshmi, who is controlling there, who is distributing the Yoga Maya potency. So it's somewhat different. Radharani and Yoga Maya in the Madhurya platform is much more humble and devoid and simple, devoid of all that majesty. Even in Dwarka, something a little different than in Vrindavan, because there's some also majesty involved in Dwarka. But it takes a very different form in Vaikuntha, where Lakshmi is distributing the potency, the Aishwarya potency. I don't know what they call it. I have not heard the term for that. Or read about it. Any other more comments?
Maharaj, it is being
Yes.
told that Yogamaya is there all the planes after Biroja.
Okay. Where
So
does it say that?
actually, because it is being told that Jiva is in the border of Mahamaya and Yogamaya. Tatastha.
Okay.
So that indicates that we are not belonging to the plane of Vaikuntha and in our original position. I mean, when Jiva originates,
Right.
it comes to a Tatastha plane, and there is the option is there, either go to a spiritual plane or the material plane. So there is Nitya Baddha and Nitya Siddhas. So in that sense, the jivas who get attracted to the association of the agents of spiritual world, and that can be any world, that can be Narsinga Loka or Dwarka Loka or any Loka, Vrindavan.
Shanta Maharaj,
Yes.
where does it mention about all planes above Viroja are under Yogamaya influence?
I mean, it is being, when it is told we are in the Tatastha plane, I'm telling about that. It is told that we are in Tatastha plane in the meeting point of Yogamaya and Mahamaya.
I mean, is this something we can read in Bhagavatam Shloka or something?
I'm not sure about Bhagavatam. I know it is elaborate, but in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is there. And Mahaprabhu explained also to Sanatana Goswami.
Well,
When
the
we are
Tatastha usually refers to the Bahiranga and Antaranga
yes,
Shakti.
Maharaj.
Huh?
Yes.
Bahiranga and Antaranga Shakti. Bahiranga means the external potency, and Antaranga means the internal potency. And in between, that's called Tatastha Shakti. Now, to say Mahamaya, Yogamaya, I don't know. I have not heard that before.
Bahiranga is called Mahamaya, Maharaj. And
Uh,
Antaranga is explained as Yogamaya.
is it?
Yes, Maharaj.
Maybe.
It is explained.
Maybe it's found in the Chaitanya Charitamrita like that, huh?
Yes, Maharaj. It is explained. Antaranga is Yogamaya and Bahiranga is Mahamaya.
I see. All right. Because I've not
And
heard about Vaikuntha, what is actually the name there. Yogamaya is something reserved for Radharani. And I imagine from Radharani expands, like I said, Lakshmi.
yes, Maharaj.
And in Mahamaya, and it also expands the Durga or Mahamaya in this world. Right?
Yes, Maharaj.
But I thought maybe there might be some special name for the potency of Lakshmi. Not exactly the same as Yogamaya, but it's possible. It can be the same energy.
Actually, it is being told, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, that Yogamaya and Baladev somehow have some relationship.
Yeah, so Baladev is the Sandini Shakti.
Yes, Maharaj.
Not the same exactly as the Ladini potency of Radharani.
Yes, Maharaj.
Manifesting potency. And he also has a counterpart in Radha's pastimes. What is that called? What is she called?
Ananga Manjari.
Ananga Manjari, yes. He has two sides. His Sandini potency in Krishna's pastimes, and something to share with manifesting the gopis and Radharani's pastimes and the Ladini potency.
Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj says that Baladev and Yogamaya, they are related like, some kind of, very intimate connection.
Well,
Like,
she has, Baladev and Subhadra are married.
No, Maharaj, they're sister, brother and sister.
Oh, no, huh?
Brother and sister.
Oh, what am I thinking? Who is Baladev married to?
Revati and Baruni.
Oh. Okay.
Subhadra married to Arjuna Maharaj.
Yes, that's right.
But I think Subhadra's position in Vrindavan is not so clear, Maharaj, in the sense.
Yes. She appears as Durga in Vrindavan.
Because she goes in Rath Yatra to Vrindavan, so she has must be having, some special position there. But I was having this, like doubt, Maharaj. I mean, when Srila Maharaj says about, this intimate connection, what is the real, that form of Yoga Maya? And he told that it is being told by Jiva Goswami in some reference. Actually, he felt that he got this realization while he was writing this Prapanna Jivanamrita, he says. Srila Maharaj says. And then when he got this realization, he got the verification from Srila Jiva Goswami's, one write-up. So we don't have any elaborate explanation about Yoga Maya, Maharaj, in detail. We know that gopis worship Katyayani Devi, that we heard, but much details. The Pauda Maya is there, Maharaj, in Vrindavan. But her relationship with Baladev, I am not sure. Because she arranges all the pastime in Vrindavan. Purnamasi, the song is there.
So both Balaram and Ananga Manjari seem to have the potency for manifestation. One in the Madhurya Leela and the other in the other Leelas. Baladev in the other Leelas and Ananga Manjari in the Madhurya.
Yes, Maharaj. And maybe, Maharaj, that same potency then expanding, because Srila Rupa Goswami, he's seen a parallel between Vrindavan pastime and Dwarka pastime. He's seen Radharani as Satyabhama and Chandravali as Rukmani and Lalita Devi as Jambavati. So her position may be there in Dwarka in some way. And that way, that also come down to Vaikunthas and other planes also, I think.
Possible. Anyhow, that's very intricate. We'll have to wait when Krishna wants to reveal all those details. Well, in the meantime, we have so many other things to do. We're coming to that level. So many other less transcendental things to think about, huh? Anartha Nivritti. So, what do you want to do now, Maharaj?
Maharaj, whatever you say, Maharaj.
I think we should end.
Okay.
3:45. Been going a while now. Thank you all very much, Maharaj and Rasaraj Prabhu and all devotees.
Dandavas, Maharaj.
We are very happy that you helped me today. Thank you. My dandavats to you, Teres, and Kanapriya, Zana.
Dandavas.
We only got to see you a short time.
Everyone did a great job today.
That's right. Nice. Oma Devi, thank you very much. Krishna Kesava Prabhu, Rasaraj Prabhu. My humble
Dhanyavad.
Puri Maharaj ki
Bye.
Or Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
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 Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
By the way.